Hi everyone, I'm Weixin. Today I will introduce our TPM workshop paper, Neural Probabilistic Circuits, and overview. In this paper, we propose a novel model architecture called Neural Probabilistic Circuits, that is NPC. On high level, an NPC consists of two modules, an attribute recognition model, which is essentially a neural network, and a task predictor, which is essentially a probabilistic circuit. And given an image X, the attribute recognition model takes this image as input and output k probability vectors. For example, the first vector represents the probabilities of X color attribute taking different values. A probabilistic circuit learns the joint distribution over the class variable Y and the attribute variables A1 to K. And this circuit enables checkable conditional inference. More specifically, if we want to compute the conditional probability of Y given A1 to K, then we only need two forward passes to get the probability. One forward pass to compute the joint probability and one forward pass to compute the marginal probability over A1 to K. Then the question is, how do we combine these two modules to get the final predictions? And before I introduce the combination, I would like to introduce two assumptions. The assumption of sufficient attribute is saying that Y and X are conditionally independent given A1 to K. So these attributes are sufficient. And the complete information is saying that an image X already contains the complete information about all attributes. So given X, all the attributes are conditionally, maturely independent. And under these two assumptions, we can now write the predictive distribution as this way. So first of all, we use a lot of total probability to expand this term and get the first equation. And then under the two assumptions, we can simplify this expression. And then we notice this first part is the probability of Y given A1 to K, which is output by this circuit. And the next thing, it is a product of the probability of AK given X, which is output by this attribute recognition model. Therefore, we seamlessly combine the two modules using this formula. So that is the architecture and the inference process of NPCs. And to train this model, we proposed this three-stage training algorithm. We first use the multitask learning loss to train the attribute recognition model, and then we introduced two different ways, a data-driven approach and knowledge-injected approach to construct the circuit. So this one tries to learn a circuit from the data, thus embedding implicit rules from the data. And this one tries to embed explicit, well-defined rules by humans. In this way, we could try to insert kind of domain knowledge into the circuit. And lastly, we try to use the standard supervised learning loss to do the joint optimization over the overall model. Okay, so we also do this theoretical analysis. First of all, we define some terms. For example, for the overall model, it tries to model the distribution of Y given X. So we define the error as the expanded TV distance between this model distribution and the ground truth distribution, and similar for the other models. And here we give the theorem called compositional error, saying that the error of NPC is bounded by a linear combination of errors from different modules. In this way, reducing the error of any individual module helps improve the performance of the NPC. The empirical results on 4 benchmark datasets show that NPCs strike a balance between the interpretability and performance, achieving results competitive even with those of end-to-end black box models while providing enhanced interpretability.